Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirit. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you so much for tuning in again this week. I hope you've had a blessed week, whatever it is you've been up to. So you're in for a treat this week. In today's show, you've got a talk I did at the Mind, Body, Spirit event in Edwinstone. The talk was called Recognizing Your Magic. So we have that. Also, we have your weekly channeling coming from the world of spirit, where they bring forward some information through me as a vessel. And then later on in the show, we have your weekly energy forecast reading that will hopefully help you navigate your way through the course of this week. So there's quite a lot of content in this week's show, so I do hope you enjoy it. Anyway, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this recording we did at the Mind, Body, Spirit in Edwinstone a few weeks ago. And the talk is called Recognizing Your Own Magic, all about manifesting your desires. Hello, good afternoon, everybody. How is everybody? Having a wonderful day already? Well, my name's Glenn Boddice. I'm a spiritual medium, and I have been doing this on and off since I was 18 years old. It's not always an easy journey. But when spirit want to work with you, they will always encourage you to go back, and that's what happened to me. I started seeing lights, seeing colours. The first communications I had with spirit was through automatic writing, and this is a technique where spirit take control of your hand and they bring through information for you that way. And so I was getting information that way, and then that developed into psychic art. And then I started to be more clairaudient, so I could hear the messages coming through from my guides rather than having to write that down through me. So that's how I started, and then I developed through the Spiritualist Church, and from there it's just been a flowing journey. So I work with on paranormal investigations. I've got a radio show and done some TV work as well. So there's never a dull moment in this work, but for me to get to that point, I've had to sort of put my hands up and say, okay, Spirit, what would you like me to do? Because I was stubborn. I'm a Capricorn. Like most people know, Capricorns are very stubborn. So when I first started doing this, I wanted to be an 18-year-old. I wanted to do what 18-year-olds do. And so I put this on the shelf. And it kept coming back, and it kept coming back. And then to the age of, I would say, my early 20s, it came back, and then that's when I said, okay, I can hear you. What would you like me to do? And so I went to the Spiritualist Church, and I developed those skills even further, and that's led me to this point today. I teach spiritual development as well now. But enough of me. The reason why I'm doing this talk today, my guides have brought all the information in. And so today's talk is about recognizing your magic. So hopefully within this chat, it will inspire you to see your own truth, your own potentials, and that you have all of these tools that you see mediums doing their work. We're all capable of doing this. And like me, in the beginning, I chose to switch it off. And hopefully, after today, you will be able to actually think, well, I can do that. Why am I not listening to that? Why am I not encouraging that in my life? Okay? So we are all transmitters and receivers. So what I mean by that is we're all giving off energy with our thoughts, our emotions. We're all putting that out into the universe. But also we're picking up on other people's energy. We're picking up on energy from the world of spirit as well as we're doing this. And so with this in mind, it can be very chaotic. And I'm sure those of you that are sensitive, when the ideal example is if we're out shopping, doing our weekly food shop. And those of us that are sensitive will go there and we feel overwhelmed. it's too much, there's too much happening, there's too many stimulations, you've got the lighting in the environment, you've got people talking, you can feel people having a discord, an argument there as well, and then you've got all the branding that's there in front of you, you know, all the symbolisms on that branding. It all contains an energy, a frequency. And for those of us that are sensitive, we pick up on all of this. And so I don't know if you've all been through this experience where you think, right, I'm just going to nip in there, I need those 3 bits of items, and then I'm coming straight home. And that's because you're picking up on all of this energy around you. And subconsciously, you know this, but today, hopefully, you'll be a little bit more mindful of that when you go into these environments where there is a lot of activity like that. Now, sensing energy as well. It can be very interesting. I mean, how many of you here have had chills? You know, when you've met somebody for the very first time, and you'll either think, I'm not sure about them, but they're very nice, you know, they're very pleasant, but your internal, shall I say, compass is telling you otherwise. It goes the other way as well. I mean, sometimes people give off a beautiful energy, and for some reason, you want to spend more time in that environment, again, because you're picking up on that frequency that they're transmitting there. Now, obviously, we can get chills, as I've just described. I mean, how many here have had where we feel like electrostatic is tingling down our spine, and we just feel a little bit different all of a sudden, then we come back to normal. Has anybody experienced that? That's brilliant. That shows that, you know, you're recognizing your own magic right there by honoring that. Another thing as well is with recognizing energy, you'll notice when there's been an argument in a room, you'll walk in, you'll feel the tenseness in the atmosphere, you'll just feel uncomfortable about it, and you'll either want to leave that environment, or you may feel the other end of that, some positive things, positivity that's happened. Like, for instance, in this room, you've all just experienced some sound healing. So I'm sure if you was honest with yourself now, you would feel that the lightness in this atmosphere. And another thing with recognizing energy as well is, I call it, we are all capable of being a BS detector. We all know what BS means. I don't have to spell it out. But we all have that skill as well. And, you know, we know when something's not right. People are telling us something. And they may be smiling, they may be happy, and yet we just know, well, that's not sitting right with me. There's something not quite right about it. And we've all had that at some point in our life, I'm sure, where we've said to ourselves, I knew that felt weird. I wished I would have listened. I wished I would have followed my own advice. And so we've all gone through that, haven't we? Another thing with energy as well is that we are all connected, whether we are living in the physical world or, you know, in the world of spirit, the non-physical world. And so with this in mind, we are all giving and receiving energy, like I've said earlier. And so we have that opportunity in any moment to put a thought out there into the universe and send it to somebody, either that's in the physical or in the world of spirit. Now, I'm sure there's many of you here today that have had somebody in mind in your family, and you're just thinking about them randomly, and they're in your thoughts, and later on that day, for whatever reason, you either get a text message from them, you get an email, you get some form of correspondence, or you might just bump into them on the street or something like that. And that's, again, because you're putting that energy out there, they're in your thoughts, it's putting it out there, they're receiving that information, and all the dots are aligning from the universe as well. So that's one example for you. But what I'd like you to do is today, I want you all to do this. So whichever way you feel that you need to do it, so if you want to do it with your eyes closed, your eyes open, I'd like you to think of someone that you hold dear to your heart. Now, this person could be in the physical world, they could be in the world of spirit. So I'd just like you to hold that space, that attention in your mind right now, okay? And I want you to think of that person. Now, as you're thinking of them, think about how they look. Think about their personality traits. Think about experiences that you've had with them. And just hold them in that space in your mind. Now, what I want you to do is just to let that energy go out into the ether, into the universe. Again, I want you to imagine that you're this transmitter, transmitting that frequency, that signal out into the universe, and just let it go. Almost like sending a text message. You send it, you let it go. And I want you all to be aware now for the rest of the day, or possibly the weekend, for that person, again, whether they're in the physical world or in the world of spirit, bringing forward a message to you. Now, these messages that they bring through to you, if they are from the world of spirit, it could be in the form of symbolism. It could be a song that they particularly enjoyed. Could even be a film. You could be watching the TV and it pops up on the telly. Your link between you and this person. You may even receive a text message if they are in the world of physical. So pay attention to that, or even a phone conversation. So pay attention to that now, this weekend. So hopefully that will give you a bit of a demonstration how we can connect with our own magic. And like I say, the universe is always communicating with us. So our loved ones, our friends and family will use this in order to get a message through. I've already mentioned about them showing you TV shows, maybe songs that pop into your head. That's another one. I mean, how many here have woke up in the morning and you get a random song in your head and you're like, why the hell am I hearing that? I haven't heard that since I was probably 10 years old, and I don't listen to that sort of music anymore. It's not my thing. And anyway, you go throughout the course of your day and that song is constantly coming back to you and you can't seem to shake it out your head. Some people call it now, I believe the technical term is an earworm. It's over my head, that is. This is what my daughters tell me, all these things. But anyway, yeah, so the reason why I bring this up is until we recognize that song and we say, okay, right, yeah, I recognize that tune, I recognize the title of the song and the artist, then it's up to us to go and do that research. We've all got a phone, or we've all got the internet. We type these things in and we have a look at the lyrics and we look at the messages in those lyrics, because it will be a message coming from the world of spirit that we need to know at that exact time. It could also mean that the music, the frequency embedded into the music, could contain healing that we need in that moment in time. Like most of you have received healing from Darren's sound healing. In the songs that you're hearing all day, there will be a frequency in that as well that will resonate with you. So once you do that, and once you do this research, and you listen to that song, look through the lyrics, understand the message that Spirit are bringing to you, that song will disappear out of your head. It only stays in your head because you're not listening, you're not doing the research. So Spirit will work in that way. They also show you signs as well. One of their particular favourites I've noticed is to show you animal totems. So what I mean by that is, I mean, how often have we all been out walking or in our day-to-day life and we just see a robin out of the blue? I mean, it doesn't have to be sort of festive time, Christmas time. We just see a robin. Well, to me, seeing a robin is a really nice animal totem. It usually means that there's somebody from your family or from the world of spirit that are around you, and that's their symbol to let you know that they're watching over you. And also just pay attention to the animals that you are particularly drawn to in that moment in time. I mentioned the term animal totem. Now, what that means is that the culture of the Native American Indians used to observe animals, and they observed their characteristics, their behavior. They also observed their coloration and their traits, if they've got so many feet, if they've got horns and things of that nature. And then they'd interpret the meanings with that. They'd record that information. Now, your spirit guides and your friends and family in the world of spirit will use animal totems to bring, again, a message through to you. So when you do see an animal next time, make a visual note of it, or, write it down if you can. And then when you have the time, go and do the research and type in the animal that you saw and the animal totem meaning. And I guarantee you there will be a message in that for you that you'll think, well, actually, I'm going through that right now and I really needed to hear that information. So you see, the world of spirit are always around us, and the universe is always around us, helping us to stay connected on our pathway as well. Another thing that happens to me quite a lot when I'm out and about, I'll be having thoughts in my head thinking I've got this job to do and I've got that job to do. And as I'm passing people, I overhear somebody talking about the very same thing that I was just thinking about. And what I'm hearing them say is actually the answer to the problem that I'm trying to work out in my head. And that happens a lot when I'm out and about. I mean, has that happened to anybody here? Again, that's the world of spirit. That's the energetic world. It's the universe synchronizing, getting your answers to you to help you. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit of a story where this happened to me the other week, actually. And my dad is in the spirit world, and he's made himself known to me several times since his passing. He's coming up to 9 years now. I've seen him in the physical as well, and he leaves little cues lying about. Now, I was thinking about him the other day, and anyway, I've got two teenage daughters. So I was off out of the house. There's just me and my two teenage daughters. I was off taking them, one of them to work and the other one to the mum's. And so there was nobody in the home. Now, with all teenagers, most of them, they're quite messy, aren't they? They leave their things lying about. And one of my daughters, she'd got some, I think they're Apple earphones. They're not the buds, the ones with the wire connected. And she just threw them on the settee. And I'm always telling them to pick things up, put that in your room and all of this. Well, anyway, I took them where they had to go. I came back home on my own, and I decided to watch a little bit of a film. Anyway, I'm watching this film. I turns my head, and I'm thinking, oh, look, they've left the headphones again on the other settee. Oh, anyway, I double-taked, I looked again, and in the wire, there was the initials EB, which are my dad's initials, Eric Boddice, and they'd been placed into the wire, positioned into the wire. So I took a photo of it, and instantly when I see these signs, I recognise them for what they are. I said, thanks, Dad. I had a bit of conversation with him, and I got the chills, and I felt that love coming to my heart chakra there as well. And it was a beautiful experience. And the reason why I bring this story up is, again, to draw your attention to your own home. I'm sure you've all had things moving, items going missing, and then you think, well, I always keep it there. I never take it anywhere else. I never take it out, and yet it's gone missing and nobody goes near it. Well, Spirit have a wonderful way of moving things out the way and then manifesting them, materializing them in a different location. Again, this is a way of letting you know that they're around, and they're always watching over you. They're bringing their love into you as well. So how many of you have had an experience like that, and you'd like to share it with us all? Would you like to share it with us?
Frequently. I'm now on my 47th rescue dog.
Oh, bless you.
I used to farm way back, so I could have a lot at a time. And some of my rescue dogs appear back to me.
Fantastic.
And one of them in particular, she was 17 when she passed over the Rainbow Bridge at 17, and she was dumped on my farmyard gate at a puppy who couldn't drink. And she appeared, I sat on the bed, I was just getting ready for bed, sat on the bed, and there she was, hovering, and I put my arms around her, and she was solid. But she didn't look at me, she looked away.
Okay.
And after, a few minutes, I don't know how long, it could have been a blink or it could have been 10 minutes, I held her, I felt her fur, she was solid. And then Jenna drifted away, and I had to let go, and she drifted away. And that, it's one of the most poignant things I ever think of. But I loved her to bits, Jenna. But as I say, I'm now on number 47. She was about number 30, I think, 31 maybe. But 47 is a giant black German shepherd called Loki. He was called Loki when I got him. So. Yeah. But and a little Jack Russell called Teddy. They're just those two at the moment. But
that's beautiful.
So I could feel her.
To get that tangible experience there, you were very lucky.
But she was hovering. She was up in the air like this.
What was the message, do you think, of her coming to?
She was just coming to say that she still loves me and she's still there. Oh, when I go over that bridge, I will be horses, dogs.
You'll have a lot of dog leads in your hands.
She wasn't asking for food then.
They're all ruined, my dogs. My little Jack Russell has got, if you live in the village, I live in the village, you'll see him being wheeled up and down in his little buggy when he doesn't feel like walking.
That's beautiful.
She was so solid.
I wonder why she wouldn't look at you though.
Well, I think if she looked at me, I would
have set you off.
It would have just finished me off, I think. She came to say that she was still there. And sometimes I've lost horses and ponies, and when I've walked, I've felt them walking behind me, touching my back and this.
It's amazing.
It's when you're close to animals.
Yeah.
That they just and talking about. Well, I've got a couple of these that come and see me as well when we go for walks. But if you look at Andrews's book on spirit animals,
okay,
you're probably aware of it, aren't you?
I'm not. No.
Oh, he is American, so some of the animals are American, but it's a brilliant book.
Brilliant. Well, just to follow with what you were saying there, the amount of energy and effort that it would have taken your dog there to come through, because they have to lower their vibration, their frequency to come into our physical realm, and they've got to retain that vibration there. It's almost, my guides have told me, it's almost like, imagine diving in a swimming pool and having to walk on the tiles for as long as you can underwater. That's how difficult it is for them, because your natural response is to rise to the surface when you're in the water, isn't it? And so they have to consciously make that effort. And so with you experiencing that, and also the level of all the synchronicities that would have had to be in place for that experience to be there, like the energy in the room, your vibration, if you was having a positive good day, there's the connection that they've got as well, and to make it tangible as well, that takes a mass amount of energy. So yeah, that's a wonderful experience.
There is a picture of her on my bedside wall as well.
So in many respects, that's like a trigger item that's going to naturally draw her to that room as well. That's brilliant.
In every room as well, so
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Has anybody else got anything they'd like to share? Yeah?
Mine's a bit different. I found out something very, very special to me had passed away. I hadn't seen it for many years. And I reached out to Glenn. I'd known Glenn from school and I really needed him. And Glenn had been helping me connect with my angel, and one of the ways that we connect is through music. So as you were mentioning earlier about listening to the lyrics, and she sent me dozens of songs, and without exception, every time I look at the lyrics, there's always something there. My favourite one was, I'd not long been back from her parents' home, which is like a 6-hour drive from where I live, and my car was breaking down, and my wife said, I think you're being instructed to get a new car, and I had my eyes on this car, but a car anyway, which means quite a lot to me. So I went out and bought this car, and I came home, and maybe 2 or 3 days later I'm meditating. I'm just lying on the settee, and I say to my angel, I said, "Come on, are you going to play me a record, just something that's really special between me and you?" And even though I really believed in, and not just believe, but know everything that I'm experiencing with Glenn and with my angel is real, I'm still at that point where I still need to be, reaffirmed and reassured. I said, "Come on, just give me something bleeding obvious." And I said, I'll stick Spotify on, and I put Spotify on, and I hit a random record that's not in my playlist, but it's a record I know really, really well. So imagine the fact I've just got this new car, and I'm looking for something extremely obvious. I said, "Come on, make it really obvious." And so she sent me this record called Radar Love by Golden Earring. It's a Dutch group from 1972. You might not recognise the name, but Glenn played it to you, you'd know it. I know this record, I listen to the lyrics, and as you listen to the lyrics, it's very, very clear. It's about he's driving along in his car, and he's getting messages from his angel. And there's no interpretation. It says, "I am getting a message from above. This is a cable from above." And he talks about cables, messages, angels. This is 1972, the record was written. It's not about getting a phone call or anything like that. But as Glenn said, I've got loads of stories about.
That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing that, David.
You're welcome. So
Thank
please
you.
Listen to them. I'm going to pop out and my voice is.
Yes, thank you, David, for that.
Thanks for everything you do.
Oh, bless you. Okay, another thing, moving on, I want to talk about recognising your magic, as that is the name of the talk there. I'd like to dip our toe slightly into manifesting. I mean, how many of us are aware of that, manifesting, creating our reality? So as you know, it's all about intention, isn't it? It's all about knowing what we desire, what we want, what we're aligned with. Again, speaking about energy, what we're energetically aligned with. So in order to get to that stage, what a lot of people don't tell you have to do, you've got to do the inner work. So you've got to clear away the old debris, the old version of yourself that doesn't match on an energetic level with that you're wanting to bring into your physical life. So that is the first port of call where manifesting is concerned. Now, it can be quite traumatic for some of us because we have to face some of those fears. We have to face some of those insecurities, see them for what they are. Instead of showing that resentment or anger towards them, we've got to respect them. Thank them with love. Thank them. See it as a lesson. Thank them for the lessons that they have taught you. By showing this level of gratitude, we're heightening our vibration. We're putting ourselves in the vibration ready to manifest what we want to bring in our life. So we show that level of love, level of gratitude, see obstacles in our lives as lessons, and that will change your frequency. Wow, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a wonderful event that I attended a few weeks ago in a place called Edwinstowe, which is famous for Robin Hood and Sherwood Forest. So we had all that energy there to start with, but the people that did turn up to the event were beautiful souls, inquiring minds, and it was wonderful to engage with people in this manner before and after the talk as well. There was some lovely conversations that were had as well, and so it's nice to know that people are starting to take note, do the inner work, also recognize the observations, and then allow the lessons to come through their lives as well. And it was nice to give people the tools there to help them navigate their way through in that process. So very interesting event, and I'm looking forward to being at the next one in 2023. So that's going to be in a different venue, but I'm excited to be a part of that also. So next we're going to move on to the next segment of the show, which is the channeled section, which sees me becoming a vessel for spirit communicators to bring forward their information that they want you to know at this moment in time. Now, you will observe that spirit do manipulate my vocal cords and change my voice in order to make that blending more easier for them to come through and bring forward that information. So at any point, if you feel that you want to get a pen and paper and take some notes, some observations of this channeling, then please feel free to do so, because there's a lot of information to digest all in one hit. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's channeling from the world of spirit.
It's a wonderful occasion to come through today. We're really excited about it. We hope you don't mind this communication, but we'd like to talk about all matters of the heart and your emotional map, your journey, talking about where you sit romantically with your partner or your soulmate, and would like to talk to you about this if you don't mind. Well, as you're aware, you've all made soul contracts and agreements with every aspect of your life, and one aspect that's often overlooked, that is your soul connection to your heart and the vibration of you and your soulmate linking together and making this contract before you incarnated down here on the earth plane. Now, there will be quite a number of you that go throughout your earthly life having various, shall we say, emotional and heartfelt connections with soulmates. Now, what this is a form of learning, a form of expansion for both parties involved. It's a form of evolution, helping you to move beyond any blocks that you've continually carried through the dimensions of time on your soul's journey. Some of you that have gone through a lot of soul connections with romantic partners and relationships will have had to do a lot of soul healing. And so this is why you have gone through that process, in order for you to heal that fragmental part of you, that very delicate part of you that only can be healed by going through situations and by getting to literally the heart of the matter. And so that is what is happening when you are going from one relationship, breaking up, shall we say, ticking that soul agreement off the list, thanking all parties involved, and then being open to a new encounter into your life. Now, we understand that this can be quite frustrating for those of you that are going through this and are wanting to be in that stable relationship with the one, as you would call it, the one that you stay with, your life partner. But in order to get to that life partner, most of you will have to go through these little journeys within the heart to remove all the blocks, to accept yourself for who you are, and to connect to the soul of who you are, your journey upon getting here in your incarnation. You have to accept that. And there will be many twists and turns in your stories on a soul journey, because you have been both male and female upon your soul's path. And so you understand all facets of emotional trauma: love, romance, sex, relationships, marriage, divorce, abandonment, alone. You understand all of it. And with that being the case, apologies, we are changing the vessel slightly. The voice is changing, as you can probably tell. We're getting a stronger link coming through regarding this subject matter. So please forgive us while we make these natural attunements. There we go, that's better. Now hopefully you can hear me a lot clearer and a lot more frequent than you could earlier. So yes, you go throughout these journeys within your soul, within your heart path, your heart map, in order for you to learn on your soul's journey. And also heal those fragmental, broken pieces of the heart, of the emotions along the way. There will be many of you that have gone through a lot of emotional trauma and will be displaying, shall we say, characteristics in your own incarnation right here, right now, of being a little bit guarded, a little bit cagey with your emotions, only allowing people to see certain facets of you, of your sensitive side, of your personality. And this is because you have been wounded in the past, and you've naturally put up that shield and that guard there in order to keep yourself from out of harm's way. But with this being the case, you negate to understand that you are actually slowing the process down, and you are hiding your truth, your light under a bushel by doing this. It's going to be very difficult for some of you to actually accept and open up 125% and let the truth of the essence of who you are out. Not paying any attention to what anybody thinks, says, does, or generally thinks about you. That is none of your business. Your business is your soul, and your soul wants to grow and expand, and it can't do that without fully being allowed to be expressed through you in your life path. So whenever you feel that urge to hide away, be shy, or retract from being the truth of who you are, you need to resist that temptation of doing that. And instead you need to propel yourself forward and let people witness your vulnerable side. They will respect you for that. Not that it matters if they do or if they don't, but by being that level of authentic self, you'll notice that these facets within your life, connecting to your love and romantic and soulmate relationships, will start to align a lot quicker as you are more open to them. We understand that there's a lot of you going through turmoils within current relationships that you are in with your partners or soulmates that you've made agreements with. Now, these misalignments are simply that one of you in the relationship has evolved to such a dramatic level that it is becoming apparent that there is a shift, there is a divide occurring between you and your current soulmate relationship. Now, this has been, shall we say, pre-agreed before you came down here, that one of you would expand at a certain rate than the other one. And so when times of this, like these, happen, you've previously agreed as a soul that you release one another in order for you to expand and grow. And this will in turn benefit one and all, as your wisdom and your emotional, shall we say, sexual, emotional love and universal energy will, the experiences that you encounter with expanding and moving away from these previous agreements in relationships will add to the greater good, the collective, bringing back information so that one and all can expand, and with expansion there becomes a great deal more unity and acceptance and forgiveness and love, unconditional universal love. So in order to get to that stage, we understand with the human mind, it sounds a little bit strange. The fact that by separating is actually going to expand one and all, and it's going to help everyone involved, is a concept that goes far beyond your earthly mind. But you will align with the truth of your soul path, and you will align with those soulmates, those liaisons, those, shall we say, soul path connections will be made, and you will continue to blossom and grow and help those individuals as well as yourself, as well as the collective, by expanding in this manner. You will reach a crescendo. When we use that term, we're referring to you will navigate your way to your true soulmate relationship, partnership on your earthbound incarnation. And when this match is made, the expansion rate blends with that individual, and you become one. You become oneness. You become part of the collective mind. In fact, you become very telepathic, very empathic as well, and you just blend, and you know what each other's thinking, you know what each other's feeling emotionally, and there's this connection of oneness. It's absolutely beautiful when it does occur. But we don't wish to elude you by saying that you will stop becoming the individual incarnated soul that you are. You will continue on that line of path in order to fulfill your soul's mission, only it will feel more divinely supported as you will be going through this phase with your soulmate relationship, making both of your individual soul path journeys more fruitful, but more in alignment, and they will flow a lot easier as you accept this great energetic union between you both, because the ingredients that you both bring into the sacred soulmate relationship are light codes, energy codes that is needed by the other party in order to carry on, in order to be more fruitful, in order to follow their soul path. Some would use the analogy that they are the key to the door of your perception, the door to your pathway forward, and vice versa. So it's important that you go through your incarnation on earth, following your truth, your heart, your emotions, your soul relationships with people that you are attracted to, both energetically, emotionally, and physically as well, because this is part of the great evolvement of your species on the planet Earth. And your species as a collective, the energy that you create, the knowledge, the wisdom that you collate as well by doing this will blend into the universal energetic library that's gonna help everything and everyone expand into realms of more potentiality. So to summarize, the reason we came through in this manner talking about this subject today is to give those of you that are wanting that soulmate, that lifelong bond and relationship, we've come to give you words of hope that all is well, all is fine, and you're exactly where you need to be, and your soulmate relationship or partner will be coming to you soon. The way that they come to you soon will vary as various situations, circumstances, energetic frequencies have to be tweaked in order for these unions, these sacred unions, to be matched. But we say, continue celebrating your own successes with your energetic expansion by honoring the truth of who you are, not holding yourself back, removing the energetic blocks and breaks that you've perhaps put on yourself to keep yourself safe from harm's way without being hurt emotionally. We want to employ to you to remove these, continue to shine, and that will help the frequency of your higher being, yourself, and your soulmate partner, your relationship, to find each other and to lock energetic frequencies. This will happen naturally. It will not be forced. If you do force it, it will go in the opposite direction and it will have a counter-inactive, shall we say, setting. It will take longer to bring into form. So the best solution for this is to go with the flow, work on yourself, be love, take the roadblocks out of the way, and also the brakes off your emotional heart, and allow yourself to be vulnerable by expressing your true self, your sensitive side, and this will in turn connect you to the vibration of your soulmate romantic partner relationship. So we hope that has been some sort of service to those of you that are going through these internal struggles, these internal questions that you ask yourself about this portion of your life and how it's going to unfold and with who is it going to unfold with. We hope it puts some light onto that area of your life, and know that everything will work out beautifully for you once you appreciate the divinity within yourself. We thank you for listening, and we send you lots of healing love and assistance to keep you on your path to your soulmate relationship partner. God bless and goodbye for now. Thank you.
What a wonderful communication there from those spirit communicators. And I'm sure we can all learn quite a lot from the information that was channeled through today. It was interesting to hear about soul contracts and what we've previously planned, obviously, before we came down here onto our earth plane incarnation, and also soulmate relationships, and why that we have to, some of us have to go through numerous relationships in order to learn healing lessons that perhaps we wouldn't have learned any other way apart from going through that relationship. So there's something to be grateful for in all of our interactions in terms of romance, love and soulmate relationships, isn't there? And I'm sure when we carry that lesson forward, like the communicators were saying, it helps us to clear the way, to clear our hearts, to clear our soul, and to have these life lessons by doing that as well. Also, it was interesting hearing how it is beneficial, obviously, for us to remove the blocks that we place in front of ourselves emotionally as well, and in other aspects of our life, because at some point we all tend to do this, don't we, to keep ourselves safe from any harm. But it's giving us that inclination to trust more, that we're on the right path, and it's all happening for a reason. So I really enjoyed that communication, and I hope you did too. So next we're going to be moving on to the next segment of the show, which is this week's energy forecast reading, which will hopefully help you navigate your way through this week on an energetic and spiritual level. So if you have a pen and paper and you wish to take notes in order to refer to a bit later on, then please get that ready. And be ready to listen to your weekly energy forecast reading for this week. Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice and I'm a spiritual medium, and welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for Monday, the 12th of December 2022. Now, those of you that have watched me work before will know that I connect with my spirit guides and helpers and also consult the wisdom of the angel tarot cards. So what I'm about to do now is shuffle the pack and allow a card to come out at random for this week's energy forecast reading. And one has just done that right on cue. So this is your card for this week's energy forecast reading. I'm now going to link into the vibration of that card and bring some information through for you. First of all, I'm being told that this week will see a very unusual week for you, simply because you're being encouraged by the world of spirit to ground your energies more so now than ever. You will be finding yourself wanting to drift off in your imagination, feeling like you're in a daydream style state of mind. And although this is very encouraging, it's a very nice experience. However, it's not making you present. It's not making you taking responsibility in your life in the right here, right now. So grounding your energy, getting out there in nature will be a tonic for you, allowing you to bring your energy and your essence forward into the now moments. Also, be aware of yourself. Feeling, again, is connected to the mind this week, I feel. Feeling as though you're in some sort of daydream and finding it hard to retain information, almost as if you're experiencing a brain fog. Now, with this being the case, my guides are saying that it's due to the change in frequency in and around our environment. So we've got to pay attention and observe people's behavior around us, not to judge them, but just to observe and then notice how we're behaving, as well as the frequencies are changing, and it's making the shift more obvious now than ever. There's going to be a few interactions with people, not yourself, but through your observations, where you're noticing people are bringing forward a lot of their past hurts, and it's making them slightly aggressive. Not to anybody, but just the way that they're interacting and allowing this energy to come through them. It's making them a little bit on edge. So be aware of that and send them that healing unconditionally as well. Do not judge at all while you're witnessing this stage. I've also got to tell you that this week's also going to offer some emotional healing for yourself as well. And the way that you'll know you're going through some emotional healing is you'll feel your lung capacity, you'll feel your lungs tightening up. Now, this is not a medical condition or anything like that. It's just the emotions being squeezed out energetically from the physical and energetic body that you're carrying there. So pay attention to that. There's also some inspiration coming your way for some new ideas, preparing you for your year of 2023. I know we're drawing close to that. And so in preparation, your spirit guides, your spiritual team are drawing close to you. So those of you that are of a sensitive nature will be experiencing feeling very, very cold in your physicality, in your environment. Now, I know we're in the crux of winter here, and so most of you will be feeling that anyway, but it's a different sort of cold. It's a cold that goes beyond the surface area of the physical body. It will make the insides of the energy within you feel like a shiver, like an electrostatic shiver, and a chill go up your spine. This is because this information is coming in from your spirit guides and helpers. Pay attention, take the necessary notes, and observe, and then when the time is right for you to act upon those inspirations, you will be intuitively guided. So pay attention to that. Also, there's going to be children around you this week that will be hypersensitive. So again, observe their behavior. In fact, they will be the new leaders of tomorrow. So observe the way that they're naturally behaving, and then you can use that as a, shall we say, a navigational compass in order to aspire to be like them, because nothing seems to be phasing them at the moment. And so bear that in mind when you're observing them. So I'm going to turn the card over now. And at the top of the card, we have, it says 5 of air. So I'd like to encourage you to research the angel number of number 5. Air to me represents the thinning of the veil. So between our dimension, the physical dimension, and the non-physical, the world of energy, the universe of spiritual activity as well. So I feel, with me saying this earlier about you experiencing that difference in atmosphere, because the world of spirit is drawing close, this card is there amplifying it. So don't be afraid, it's there for your greatest good. At the bottom of the card, it reads mistakes, melodrama, and reassessment. With this in mind, it's telling you to not necessarily see a mistake as a bad thing. See it as a learning curve, an opportunity to expand your consciousness and grow, and then expand into new vistas where you quite possibly couldn't have gone if you hadn't gone through this potential mistake. So see it that way. Also, melodrama is telling you, like we said earlier, not to judge people, just to observe people, and don't get drawn into their emotional traumas that they're going through. We mentioned earlier about you observing them being slightly more aggressive as they're allowing this healing process to take place. So don't be attached to that. Just observe, send them that healing and blessings. Now, reassessment is obviously you taking that time out for you to look at your life and how you're wanting to change it in preparation for 2023. So you will have periods of time within your week this week where, like I say, you go into that sort of daydream state and you're visualizing how you want your life to unfold in your year of 2023. But it is important that you must ground your energies and stay present as well, because that is where your power is. That's where your choices are. Not in the future, not in the past, in the now. So being grounded, going out in nature, being aware of all your senses, your physical senses, will keep you in that energy of the now moment consciousness. So looking into the card, around the edge, we have lots of blue there. So blue will indicate emotions, which we've already mentioned about emotions coming to the surface to be healed and let go of in preparation for next year. Also, the color blue to me represents the throat chakra. So a need for you to express yourself more openly and freely and not feeling ashamed or embarrassed about doing that. Now, you can do this in a loving, caring way. So if it's in connection with the emotions, you can simply express how you're feeling to somebody in a releasement fashion without judgment, if that makes sense. Looking into the artwork of the card, we've got this divine feminine there. So it's telling you to watch out for your sensitive side this week and honor it, rest with it. Don't wrestle with it, just simply sit with it and allow it to be and observe, like this lady is doing there. She's very observational. She's in a daydream-like state as well, which we've already mentioned a couple of times on here today. Also, as you can see in front of her there, well, let's go back. Look at the chair, the throne that she's sitting in. She's actually sitting in the seat of her own power. And this seat has angel wings on it as well. So it's saying that once you do that, sit in the seat of your own power, be comfortable in your own skin, then this is where that inspiration that we spoke of earlier that is going to come in from the world of spirit. So pay attention, take notes. There's a chessboard in front of her there as well. And as we can see, there's two swords or two knights, whatever your terminology is there, that are lying down. Now, these are white as well. So to me, that represents cord cutting to your past. It also represents that the angelic realm is going to help you do that, help you heal, help you move through it. And also it's talking about your balance within your life. How much time are you giving yourself away to? How much time are you giving to yourself? And making sure that you're addressing that balance and you're getting that healing. Otherwise, you will encounter a burnout if you do not do any of that. So resting is paramount for you at this moment in time. Now, obviously, the chessboard there as well, it's very calculative, the game of chess. So it's telling you to take that time to rest, to recalibrate, to think, and again, to plan out or plot out what resonates with you for your year of 2023. So it's bringing all that for you this week. So I hope that resonates with you. I really appreciate you joining in. Thank you for liking, hearting, commenting and sharing. If you've enjoyed what you've seen on here today and you would like a one-to-one private reading, a 12-month forecast, recorded reading, or a spirit-channeled drawing of your spirit guide and information, then please contact me at Glenn Boddice, www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com. If you like spiritual shows, radio shows, you can join me every Monday at 4 p.m. on pulsetalkradio.com. And the show's called From Beyond with Glenn Boddice at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Take care now and God bless. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's show as much as my spirit team and myself have. If you do have any show suggestions or ideas or stories you wish to share with the show and the listeners, please contact me at www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com or email me at glennboddice@live.co.uk. In the meantime, join me again next week, same place, same time, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Have a blessed week and take care. Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products and services Glenn provides, go to glennboddicespiritualmedium.com.